friends. Hey, how y'all doing today? Welcome back to the Pleasure Priority Podcast. And I am your host, Amber Taylor. So today I might have a quick one for you. We'll see how it goes. But kind of the thing that I always say to my clients, the thing that ends up coming up at least 3 times every week is stop beating yourself up. Like the only thing that you get from beating yourself up or being an asshole to yourself is beat down. The only thing that you get from beating yourself up is beat down. We do it because we think that if we're yelling at ourselves, we're motivating ourselves, or if we're chastising ourselves, we are, creating this environment where we don't want to do the thing again, or not do it, or do it, or whatever the case may be. We think that the way we talk to ourselves is a form of motivation or a catalyst to us getting where we want to go. But like some of the things my clients say, and honestly that I used to say to myself is like, you're never going to make it. You're not good enough. See, this is why you can't have nice things. There's just like things that don't inspire a sense of motivation or inspiration or anything helpful, really. Like really all those ways of talking to yourself usually inspire a lot of shame or guilt or sadness or hopelessness or helplessness or a bunch of feelings that really don't inspire any action. They really just have you in this place of feeling bad and feeling bad for yourself and feeling like you can't do it. And if we were to go through a model like that, it's if we have a thought, let's say we wanted to go to the gym and we didn't go for whatever reason. And then we start telling ourselves, you're not good enough. And depending on who you are, how long you've been telling yourself that, you could feel guilty or shameful or hopeless or whatever the case may be, but something in that feeling family. And when you feel those ways, you tend to ruminate or think about all the times where this same story was true for you. So all the other times where you didn't go to the gym or you didn't get the thing done or you didn't do what you ultimately wanted to do, which again just re-solidifies that feeling that you had. You also are likely judging yourself. You're also likely not taking care of yourself. You're not believing in yourself. You're not doing the thing. Like you're not going to the gym. You're not planning on going to the gym. You're not really doing anything helpful for you. And then you may take it out on other areas like overworking or overeating, over drinking, or doing really anything overtly to try and not feel the way that you're feeling when ultimately you're not feeling bad because you didn't do the thing. You're feeling bad for how you're talking to yourself. You don't have to go to the gym in order to feel good or, whatever the situation is. You don't have to do the thing to feel good. Like, really, you just have to stop being an asshole to yourself. And when you give yourself that compassion, when you give yourself that grace, you open yourself up to so much more. And instead of this internal pity party, and this story that ultimately plays out over and over and over again to the point where, going back to that model, you just believe that you're not enough because you created all the evidence to support it. You're reinforcing this story. You're not doing the thing. And again, it's not because you can't or you won't or it's just not in you. It's because you're being so mean to yourself that you don't want to take any action. You don't want to do any things. You're just trying to not be mean to yourself, not feel so shitty. So you avoid the work entirely. Again, not because you're not enough. but because you're being an asshole to yourself. Like there really no upsides. Even when we think that there are, even when we think it's going to motivate us, like really, like go back, check in with yourself, and all that shit that you say, ask yourself if it's actually motivating. Like when you're saying it to yourself, just ask, like, do I want to do the thing now? Or do I want to curl up on the couch and cry? Like, like really just see what those thoughts, what those things you're telling yourself are creating for you, because you are always, always, always in control of that. So, another aspect of this is being mean to ourselves, basically because we think that we should be in a different place than we are. Like, if only you started working out 6 months before you did, then you'll be in this place. Or, oh, only if only you took on that extra project, you'd be up for promotion by now. Oh, if only you said yes to that one date, or didn't break up with that guy for that one reason, then you'd be married by now. Or, whatever it is, it's just that expectation that you should be somewhere different than you are, and then judging and beating yourself up for not being there. But my response to that is always in the most loving way. You don't know shit. Like, you really don't. You have no idea where you're supposed to go, what journey you're supposed to be on, and when. Like, you really can't predict that. We can want things all we want. We can go after them, we can chase them, we can have ideas, dreams, plans, but there's also an element of timing. There's also an element of divine intervention. There's also an element of preparing ourselves, learning the things that we need to learn, having the experiences that we need to have in order to elevate to that next level. And that doesn't always happen on our time. Usually it never happens on our time. And when we're here judging and berating and blaming ourselves for not being where we want to be or not having the outcome that we want to have, it's really just like a mute point, like just unnecessary suffering, because again, like you don't know shit. The way that we live in society is basically do more, do more, do more, be more, be more, be more, always get the next, always level up, always do the things, always, always, always. And it's just like, no, like sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you need to marinate. And sometimes it's just not your season. It's not your winning season. Sometimes it's your growing season. Sometimes it's your resting season. Sometimes it's your trauma season. And that's just a part of life. And you can't rush those processes. And you certainly can't talk yourself out of them or judge yourself out of them or berate yourself out of them. It just doesn't work like that. And the more you resist the reality of where you're at and continue to judge yourself for it, the worse you feel and the longer you stay there. Really, the biggest mind fuck for my clients is that piece of acceptance, of accepting where you're at right now, accepting who you are right now, and letting that be enough, because it is. It 100% is. And that doesn't mean you can't want more, be more, or have more. It just means that wanting more, being more, having more doesn't make you any more enough than you already are. It doesn't make you any more valuable. It doesn't make you any more worthy. It's just you with more. And accepting where you're at now is what releases that resistance, is what allows you to have a clearer, more consistent flow to that path of more, just embracing the enoughness of where you're at now. So yeah, you really don't know where you quote unquote should be. You can know where you want to be, where you desire to be, but you don't know where you're supposed to be at any given time, really. So stop judging yourself for having a different idea of where you think you should be versus where you're actually at. If you try accepting where you're at, you open yourself up to seeing the lessons that you're supposed to learn while you're there, having the experiences that you're supposed to have while you're there. And you open yourself up for the ability to be present in that period of the in this period of your life. You allow yourself to enjoy, to relax, to have fun, to balance as you still strive for more. The ability to accept instead of resist is really the key to getting to where you want to go. And kind of this playing out in real life, to me, I have definitely worked on the way that I talk to myself. And I've come leaps and bounds in the last about 2 years, since I've been really focused on it and dedicated to it. And I don't talk to myself like a horrible coach anymore, like the person that's always do more, be more. Yeah, you got to do it. You got to get it. You're not good enough. This is why you don't have nice things. You're never going to make it. You're never going to get there. Just like this constant beratement. Like, Jesus, my energy is on tilt right now just from that. I'm not even remembering all the examples because I just don't even have them anymore. But it was bad. Like, I was such a dick to myself. It wasn't helping anything. It just made me feel like shit all the time. And then I had to overcome that shit in order to do what I wanted to do. It just created more work for me. Like, I had to overcome my internal monster and the external ones, um, all because I was taking in all of that to heart, believing it about myself, and then reiterating it back to myself. But one thing I always say in coaching is that we're never 100% healed from anything. It just comes back to us in different ways, giving us different lessons. And the way that that showed up for me is and actually in my idea to record this podcast. So I had the idea, I wrote it down, and I was avoiding it. Yes, I procrastinate too, queen of it. Um, but yeah, I just wasn't doing it. And then last night I was sleeping. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and my brain was going off, like giving me all these ideas for this podcast, basically telling me exactly what I should say. And I was like, damn, like I should get up and record this right now. And then another side of me was like, no, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, like stay in bed. And I was having this like internal conflict with myself. And I found the conversation going something like, if you don't get up right now, you're never gonna make it. Like, if you don't get up right now, your business is gonna fail. If you don't get up right now, you'll never help somebody again. If you don't get up right now, you'll never have an idea again. And just this do or die fear, and just like meanness coming, from my brain. And I was scared at first. Like, I did not recognize it as something negative. Like, I was truly or something that I didn't want to believe. Like, I was truly believing it. I was truly sitting here like, oh my God, like I need to get up. I need to get up. I need to do this. I need to record this podcast or else everything is over for me. Definitely a bout of catastrophization or jumping to the worst case scenario. Um, and staying there. And when I did that, I didn't feel good. I had a lot of anxiety. It wasn't a place that I wanted to record the podcast from. Um, Definitely still agree with all the things I'm saying because it's what I'm telling you now, but it just wasn't coming from a healthy or productive place, that I really wanted to work from. So when I stopped and I was thinking like, okay, like what's going on? Why am I feeling like this? And also, why am I not getting up? Because none of that beratement, even though I was telling myself that I was never going to make it and I was going to lose my business and everything I wanted was like out the window, it did not make me get out of bed. It did not make me like want to actually do the thing. It just had me feeling so shitty that I was basically in the place of like, oh, well, why even try in the first place? I had first identified this voice as the spirit of my business, or the thing that, I'm in this partnership with, the divine side of my business. And one of my coaches has said before, like, if the spirit of your business is being an asshole to you, it's not the spirit of your business. So I remembered that in that moment, and I was like, oh God, like, if it is not you, then who is it? Short answer, it's the patriarchy. It's the idea that you have to keep working, that you have to keep going, that you can't take breaks, that you can't take rests, that you have to do all the things now. And that who was facilitating that voice. That was who was trying to get me out of bed and tell myself I was basically worthless if I didn't, all to just record a podcast that I had scheduled to record today. But anyway, I say all this to say, be weary of the voices in your head and who's actually behind them. It's not always you or, your different personalities. Sometimes it's family members. Sometimes it's friends. Sometimes it's celebrities. And sometimes it's structures of oppression that we've internalized that go on repeat, that tell us things that keep us oppressed. So in that moment, when I was choosing rest consciously, so much of my anxiety dissipated. It wasn't I'm not going to do the thing because I'm lazy and I'm worthless and I'm never going to make it anyway, so why even try? Definitely a different vibe. But it was, I'm not going to record this podcast right now because I'm in bed. I'm comfortable and my rest is important to me. My sleep is important to me. My health is important to me. And I know that what I know now, I will also know tomorrow. I know that the message I give, when I give it, is the one that's supposed to be heard. And when I'm operating from that place, again, a completely different vibe, completely different outcomes, even though the thing was the same, getting on and recording the podcast. The outcomes are entirely different. So I share this story to say that being an asshole to yourself can come up in multiple different ways. Like sometimes, most of the time, it comes up in a way that you think is there to help you, that you think is there to assist you and be a catalyst to your goals and your dreams. But the thing about that is when it doesn't make you feel good, it's not a catalyst to your dreams. It's not a catalyst to your goals. It's a form of internalized depression that is really keeping you down and holding you back. It makes you feel like shit, and then you don't do shit. And not from a place of rest and relaxation, but a place of fear, anxiety, and feeling like you're paralyzed and you can't do anything. So the point of this podcast, I guess I went a lot longer than I initially thought I would. But the point of this podcast is that beating yourself up is not helping you. You may think that it is, but it's not. You may think that you need it to get to your goals because you believe that you should be somewhere else, but you shouldn't. You should be exactly where you're at and believing in yourself where you're at, because where you're at right now, who you are right now, is enough. And you can always want more and chase more and be more, but you don't have to beat yourself up to do it. I mean, think about Beyonce or Rihanna or Ava DuVernay or Shonda Rhimes or Oprah. Like, none of these women imagined their lives now, their level of success now, when they first started. Of course, they believed in themselves. Of course, some of them probably really did believe, oh, I'm going to be famous one day. But I know that they couldn't even fathom, ooh, Issa Rae, her too. But I know that they couldn't even fathom the level of abundance that they have now, because they didn't know what was possible for them when they first started. They just had to start and they had to believe. And if they were sitting there doubting themselves, judging themselves, believing that they should be somewhere differently than they were, they wouldn't have gotten to where they are today, or the journey would have looked incredibly different. So your dreams, your goals, they're on the way. You can have more than you even can fathom right now, but you don't get there by being an asshole to yourself. You get there with love, trust, compassion, and acceptance. So the next time you find yourself judging yourself or being mean to yourself or telling yourself that you should have done something or you should be in a different place or you should whatever, when you're just shoulding yourself, I invite you to reframe it in a way where you can offer yourself love, trust, compassion, and acceptance, and see what that does for you. See how different it feels and see what you create. And also let me know. I would love to hear from you and hear how this process is going for you, or how even just dropping the self shame, the self sabotage, the self criticism that's not coming from a productive place. Granted, there's always room for self reflection, but not self flagellation. Want to be clear on that. But I do want to hear from you. So let me know. Leave a comment in the podcast, visit me on Instagram or Facebook, or shoot me an email. Always, you can find me at www.ambertaylorcoaching.com and Amber Taylor Coaching on all my socials. And if you would like to work with me, I'd like to give you my two options. One is my free 14-day challenge, which is a 2-week challenge, which gets delivered to your inbox every day, where you have a challenge and activities and things to do that will help inspire you to get to a place of self-acceptance, which ultimately will get you to a place of self-love. My clients have been loving it. And all you need to do is join my email list to get access. So you can find that again on my website in the Work With Me tab. And the other option is to join my one-on-one container, in which we talk every week. We have weekly sessions where we deep dive into whatever you want. Everything's on the table, but all structured in a way, all teachings aligned in a way to serve your ultimate goals of what you want and how you want to get there. So if either of those options sounds interesting to you, go ahead and visit my website at www.ambertaylorcoaching.com/workwithme. And I would love to see if we'd be a great fit to work together. But with that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing rest of your week. Reminder, don't be an asshole to yourself. Reminder two, you're enough right now. You always have been, and you always will be. All right, y'all. Love you. Talk to you soon.